Hello, and welcome to Speak English with Ease and Style. I'm Emma.
And I'm Liam. Hey Emma, how's your day going?
It's going really well, thanks. I'm especially excited about today's episode because we're talking about something that affects all of us, our daily routines. You know, the small habits that shape our mornings, afternoons, and evenings.
Absolutely. Routines are those little things we do every day without even thinking about them. They give our day structure and help us feel more organized and in control.
Exactly. And the best part is, when we talk about routines, we use a lot of common, everyday English. So in this episode, we'll share our own routines, use simple language, and repeat useful words so you can easily talk about your own day.
That's the goal, to help you speak naturally and confidently. So, Emma, let's start with the morning. What's your typical morning like? Do you jump out of bed as soon as the alarm goes off?
Oh, definitely not. I'm not a morning person, so I take it slow. I usually wake up around 7:15 because I'm a student and my first class isn't until 9. But I never get up immediately. I stay in bed for a minute, take a deep breath, and stretch a little. It helps me wake up without feeling rushed.
That sounds like a gentle way to start the day. I wake up a bit earlier, around 6:30, because I work in an office and I need to be there by 8. The very first thing I do is drink a glass of water. I've noticed that if I skip that, I feel tired for the rest of the morning.
Water is so important. I drink water too, but usually after I've washed my face. So after my little stretch, I go to the bathroom, wash my face, and brush my teeth. That small routine really wakes me up and makes me feel fresh.
Same here. Then it's breakfast time. What do you usually eat in the morning?
I prefer a light breakfast. Something simple like toast with peanut butter or a bowl of oatmeal. I don't like heavy food in the morning because it makes me feel sluggish. What about you?
I also go for something light. Most days I have yogurt with some fruit, or sometimes just a banana if I'm in a hurry. I learned a long time ago that a big breakfast, like eggs with bacon, makes me feel slow and sleepy before I even get to work.
Yeah, exactly. So after breakfast, I usually check my phone. I look at my schedule for the day, what classes I have, any deadlines. It helps me plan my time.
I do something similar. I look at my to-do list. A to-do list is just a list of tasks I need to complete during the day. It keeps me organized and I feel less stressed when I know what's coming.
That's a good habit. I should probably make a to-do list too. Right now, I just use my calendar, but a list might be better.
You can try it. It only takes a couple of minutes in the morning. Now, do you have any other morning habits that are important to you?
Yes, actually. I always make my bed right after I get up. It's such a small thing, but it makes my room look tidy, and I feel like I've already accomplished something before the day really starts.
I do that too. It's funny how such a simple action can set a positive tone for the rest of the day. And after that, I head out. I take the bus to work. It's about 20 minutes. I use that time to listen to a podcast or some music. It helps me prepare mentally without rushing.
I walk to my university. It's only 15 minutes, so I enjoy the fresh air and look at the trees. Honestly, it wakes me up better than coffee, and I don't even drink coffee.
Walking is great. So for both of us, mornings are about starting slowly, eating light, and having a few simple habits that make us feel organized and calm. All right, we've covered the morning. Now let's move to the afternoon. Emma, what does your typical afternoon look like? I imagine it's pretty packed with classes and studying.
You're absolutely right. My afternoons are usually the busiest part of my day. I have classes that go until early afternoon, and then I have a few hours of studying ahead of me. Sometimes it feels like a lot, but I've learned to handle it by taking things one step at a time.
That's a good approach. What do you mean by one step at a time?
Well, instead of looking at all the assignments I have to do and getting overwhelmed, I pick one thing and focus on that until it's done. Then I move to the next. It helps me stay calm and actually get things done.
I do something similar at work. My afternoons are full of meetings and project work. If I tried to do everything at once, I'd probably burn out by 2 p.m. So I prioritize.
Prioritize. That means decide what's most important first, right?
Exactly. I look at my to-do list and mark the most urgent or important tasks. Those are the ones I tackle first while my energy is still high. I've learned that if I leave the hard tasks for the end of the day, I end up staying late or doing a poor job because I'm too tired.
I do the same with my homework. I try to do the hardest subjects first. For example, if I have a math assignment that requires a lot of concentration, I do that early in the afternoon. Then later, when I'm a bit more tired, I do something easier like reading or reviewing notes.
That's smart. Do you ever find it hard to stay focused, especially when you have a lot to do?
Oh, definitely. Staying focused for hours is really difficult. That's why I've started taking breaks regularly. I used to think that studying for hours without stopping was productive, but I realized I wasn't actually learning much after the first hour. My brain would just get tired and I'd start making mistakes.
I know that feeling. So what kind of breaks do you take?
I use a timer. I study for 25 minutes, then I take a 5-minute break. It's called the Pomodoro method. During the 25 minutes, I don't check my phone. I don't open other tabs on my computer. I just focus on one task. Then when the timer rings, I stand up, walk around my room, stretch, or sometimes just close my eyes for a minute.
That's a great system. I've used the Pomodoro method too, especially when I have a big project that requires deep concentration. It really helps because you know you only have to focus for a short time, so it feels less overwhelming.
Exactly. And I try to use my breaks wisely. I don't look at social media because then 5 minutes easily becomes 20, and it's hard to get back into study mode. Instead, I drink some water, look out the window, or do a quick stretch.
That's a good point. I do something similar at work. When I take a break, I step away from my desk. Sometimes I go outside for a few minutes to get some fresh air. It helps me recharge.
Recharge. That's a great word. It means to get your energy back, both physically and mentally.
Yes, and I've noticed that even a 5-minute break can make a huge difference. I come back to my desk feeling refreshed and ready to focus again.
Now, what about lunch? What do you usually eat in the afternoon?
I eat a light lunch. My go-to is a salad with some grilled chicken or sometimes a turkey sandwich. I learned a long time ago that if I eat something heavy, like pasta, rice with a lot of sauce, or a big burger, I get an energy slump around 3 p.m. and I can barely keep my eyes open.
I have the same problem. That's why I also keep my lunch light. I usually have a rice bowl with vegetables, or sometimes just a salad with some tofu. I notice that when I eat a lot of carbohydrates in the middle of the day, I feel so sleepy that I can't concentrate on anything.
That afternoon energy slump is real. Some people drink coffee to fight it, but I try to avoid too much caffeine. If I drink coffee after lunch, I feel awake for an hour, but then I crash even harder later.
Me too. I don't drink coffee at all. Instead, I try to go for a short walk after lunch if I can. Just 10 minutes outside, even if it's just around the block, helps me stay alert for the rest of the afternoon.
That's a great habit. I sometimes do the same. There's a small park near my office, so I walk there for a few minutes. It makes a big difference, not just for energy, but also for my mood. Sometimes I call a friend or just listen to music.
So after lunch, what does your afternoon look like?
After lunch, I usually have meetings or I work on projects. I try to schedule my most important meetings in the late morning or early afternoon when I'm most alert. Then in the later afternoon, I do tasks that require less concentration, like answering emails, organizing files, or preparing for the next day.
That makes sense. I do something similar. After lunch, I do my hardest homework first, while I still have energy. Then I leave easier tasks, like reading, watching lecture videos, or reviewing flashcards, for later in the afternoon.
Do you ever change your environment to stay focused?
Yes, actually. If I've been sitting at my desk for a few hours and I feel my concentration slipping, I move to a different spot. Sometimes I go to the library, or even just to the kitchen table. A change of scenery helps me reset. It's like my brain gets a little refresh.
I do that too. Sometimes I work from a cafe for an hour if I need a fresh perspective. It sounds small, but it really helps. Also, if the weather is nice, I sometimes sit outside for a bit while I read or do light work.
That's a good idea. I should try that. Now let's talk about some useful words we've used in this conversation. I think it's helpful to highlight them.
Good idea. We used focus a lot. That means to give all your attention to one thing.
And prioritize, which means to decide what's most important and do that first.
We also said take a break. That's when you stop working for a short time to rest.
Recharge, to get your energy back.
An energy slump. That's when you feel tired and have no energy, usually in the afternoon.
Those are really useful for talking about your daily activities. So to sum up the afternoon, we both try to focus on one thing at a time, take regular breaks, eat a light lunch, and manage our energy so we can stay productive without feeling exhausted.
Exactly. And we also adapt when needed. If we feel tired, we change our environment or take a short walk. We listen to our bodies.
That's so important. It's not about being productive every single minute. It's about being smart with your energy.
Right. Now, before we move to the evening, let's do a quick recap of the afternoon vocabulary so listeners can remember them.
Sure, focus, to give all your attention to one thing.
Prioritize, to decide what's most important.
Take a break, to stop for a short time to rest.
Recharge, to get your energy back.
Energy slump, that feeling of tiredness in the afternoon.
And light lunch, a small meal that doesn't make you feel heavy.
Great. Now, I think we're ready to move to the evening.
Sounds good. Let's do that.
So after a busy afternoon, evenings are my time to finally unwind. What about you, Liam? What does your typical evening look like?
Evenings are definitely my favorite part of the day. After work, I like to change into comfortable clothes. You know, sweatpants, a hoodie, something that tells my brain, okay, work is over.
Yes, I do the same. As soon as I get home, I change out of my day clothes. It's like a switch that helps me transition from student mode to relaxation mode.
Exactly. Then I start thinking about dinner. Do you enjoy cooking?
I do, but I keep it simple. I'm not a gourmet chef or anything. I usually make something like a vegetable stir-fry with tofu or pasta with fresh tomatoes and basil. It's quick, healthy, and doesn't require a lot of effort.
That sounds delicious. I also cook simple meals. My go-to is grilled salmon with roasted vegetables, or sometimes a stir-fry with chicken and rice. I find that cooking is actually a relaxing activity for me. It gives me time to focus on something creative and not think about work or responsibilities.
I feel the same way. Chopping vegetables, listening to music in the background, it's almost meditative. And then at the end, you get a nice meal. It's rewarding.
Do you usually eat alone or with someone?
Most nights I eat alone because I live by myself, but sometimes I cook with a friend or my sister visits. What about you?
I live with my partner, so we often cook together or take turns. It's nice to have that time to chat about our days. We usually eat around 7 o'clock or 7:30.
That sounds lovely. After dinner, I like to go for a short walk outside. Even if it's just 15 minutes around the neighborhood, it helps me digest and also clears my mind. Do you do that?
I do that too, especially when the weather is nice. A short walk in the evening is very calming. Sometimes I listen to music, sometimes I just enjoy the quiet. It's a great way to separate the busy part of the day from the restful part.
Exactly. After my walk, I usually take a shower. For me, that's the signal that the day is over and it's time to rest. I feel like the warm water washes away all the stress.
I'm the same. A shower in the evening makes me feel refreshed and ready to slow down. Sometimes I take a bath if I want to relax even more, but usually it's a quick shower.
Now, what about screens? This is something I struggle with sometimes. Do you use your phone or watch TV before bed?
I try to avoid screens for at least 30 minutes before I go to sleep. I used to scroll through social media in bed, and I noticed it made it harder to fall asleep. The light from the screen tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime.
Yes, exactly. I've read that blue light affects your sleep. So instead of screens, I read a book. What do you like to read?
I usually read fiction, something light and entertaining. Mysteries, adventure stories, sometimes a biography. I find that reading helps my brain relax because I'm focusing on a story instead of thinking about work or to-do lists.
I read fiction too, and sometimes I listen to quiet music. I have a playlist of instrumental music that I put on while I'm winding down. It creates a peaceful atmosphere.
Do you drink anything before bed?
Yes, I like to drink a cup of herbal tea, chamomile or peppermint. It has no caffeine, so it's very soothing. It also gives me something warm to hold, which feels comforting.
I do the same. Herbal tea is great, especially in winter. Sometimes I add a little honey. It's become a ritual for me.
Before bed, I always brush my teeth and wash my face. I know it sounds basic, but that small routine tells my body, okay, it's time to sleep. It's like a signal.
Absolutely. I do the same. And then I get into bed. I usually go to sleep around 10:30, sometimes 11. A good night's sleep makes such a difference for the next day.
I aim for 10 o'clock or 10:30. I've noticed that when I sleep at least 7 or 8 hours, I wake up feeling much more rested and in a better mood.
Do you have any special evening habit that helps you relax even more?
Yes, actually. I keep a small notebook by my bed, and before I turn off the light, I write down 3 good things that happened during the day. It could be something small, like a nice conversation, a good meal, or finishing a difficult assignment. It's a gratitude practice, and it helps me end the day on a positive note.
That's a beautiful idea. I've heard about gratitude journaling, but I've never tried it. Maybe I'll start.
You should. It only takes a minute, but it changes your mindset. What about you? Do you have any special evening ritual?
I like to light a scented candle while I read. I have a lavender one that smells very calming. It creates a peaceful atmosphere in the room, and it's a nice way to signal that it's time to relax.
That sounds lovely. So evenings are really about slowing down, doing simple things that make us feel calm, and preparing for a good night's sleep. I think we've covered a lot.
We have. And we've used some great vocabulary along the way. Let's highlight a few of those words.
Good idea. We talked about unwind, which means to relax after a busy day.
Cook, to prepare food. And light dinner, a small, simple meal in the evening.
We also used avoid, like I avoid screens before bed. That means to stay away from something.
Calming, something that makes you feel relaxed, like a walk or herbal tea.
And bedtime, the time you go to sleep.
Those are all very useful for talking about your evening routine. Now, after talking about our whole day, from morning to night, I'm thinking about why routines actually help us so much. Emma, what do you think?
I think routines reduce stress. When you have a routine, you don't have to make hundreds of small decisions every day. You already know what you're going to do, so your mind feels calmer.
That's a good point. For example, if you already know that you're going to take a walk after dinner, you don't have to decide whether to do it or not. It's just part of your day. That saves mental energy.
Exactly. And routines also help build good habits. When you repeat something every day, it becomes automatic. You don't have to think about it or motivate yourself. You just do it.
Right, like brushing your teeth before bed. Nobody has to remind me. It's just part of my evening. That's the power of a routine.
Another thing is that routines help us be more productive. When we have a structure for studying or working, we waste less time. We know when to focus and when to take breaks.
Yes, I've definitely noticed that. On days when I don't follow my routine, I feel scattered. I might spend an hour checking emails without getting anything important done. But when I stick to my plan, I get more done in less time.
Exactly. But routines shouldn't feel like a prison. They need to be flexible. If something unexpected happens, it's okay to change the plan.
I agree. The goal is to have a routine that supports your well-being, not to feel guilty if you break it. Life happens. Sometimes you have to stay late at work or you're too tired to go for a walk. That's fine.
Right. It's about finding what works for you. Some people need a very strict schedule, while others prefer a loose routine. The important thing is that it makes your life easier, not harder.
Now, before we wrap up, let's do a quick practice together. I'll ask a few simple questions and you answer. Then listeners can answer for themselves.
That's a great idea. It's a good way to use the vocabulary we've practiced.
Okay. First question, what time do you usually wake up?
I usually wake up around 7:15 in the morning. I don't use an alarm because my body naturally wakes up around that time.
What's the first thing you do after you wake up?
I take a deep breath, stretch in bed for a minute, and then I make my bed. That makes me feel like I've already done something productive.
What do you have for breakfast?
I usually have a light breakfast, toast with peanut butter, or sometimes oatmeal with berries. I try to avoid heavy food in the morning because it makes me feel sluggish.
How do you spend your afternoon?
I focus on studying, but I take short breaks every 25 minutes. I also eat a light lunch so I don't feel sleepy. I prioritize my hardest assignments first, while I still have energy.
And finally, how do you relax in the evening?
I cook a simple dinner, go for a short walk, read a book, and avoid screens before bed. I also write down 3 good things from the day in my gratitude journal.
Perfect. So listeners, you can use those same questions to talk about your own daily routine. Try to answer out loud. Use the words we've practiced today. Wake up, stretch, light breakfast, focus, take a break, recharge, unwind, avoid bedtime.
And remember, you don't need to speak perfectly. The goal is to communicate and feel comfortable. The more you practice, the easier it gets.
We hope this episode gave you some useful ideas and vocabulary to describe your own day. If you enjoyed it, please share it with a friend who is also learning English.
And don't forget to join us next time for another topic. We'll keep helping you speak English with ease and style.
Until then, take care, keep practicing, and remember, small steps every day lead to big progress.
Goodbye for now.
Bye.